You are not healed. You are just distracted. You are busy, you are smiling, you are posting, you are walking, you are telling everyone you are fine, and you have become so good at hiding your pain that even you believe the lie. But the moment something reminds you of what happened, everything comes rushing back. That's not healing, that is pain you never dealt with. Sometimes we think we are healed because we are no longer crying about what happened. We think we are okay because we can talk about it without breaking down. We think we have moved on because we are busy again. We are working, we are laughing, we are going out, we are meeting new people, we are living our lives. And maybe we have, but sometimes we are not actually healing. We are just getting better at hiding the pain. I think sometimes we confuse being functional with being healed. We say, I am fine. And because we are still getting things done, we assume that must be true. But healing is it's not just about being able to continue with your life. Sometimes healing means being honest about what happened to you and what it did to you. Because you can move on from a person and still carry the wound they left behind. You can leave a relationship and still struggle to trust again. You can forgive someone and still be afraid of being hurt the same way. You can stop talking about something and still think about it every night. You can smile in public and still cry when you are alone. And sometimes the pain does not disappear. It simply becomes quieter. You learn how to function around it. You learn how to hide it. You learn how to avoid the conversations that bring it back. You learn how to say, it does not bother me anymore. But then something happens. Someone says something. Someone treats you a certain way. You hear a familiar tone. You experience a familiar situation. And suddenly you are back in that place again. And you wonder, why am I reacting like this? It's because sometimes the wound never truly healed. You just learn how to live around it. And I think that's something we need to be honest about. You don't have to be ashamed that you are still hurting. You don't have to rush yourself because everyone thinks you should be over it by now. There is no deadline for healing, but there is a difference between giving yourself time and constantly avoiding the pain. Because what you refuse to face does not always disappear. Sometimes it follows you. It follows you into new relationships. It follows you into new friendships. It follows you into new opportunities. See, you start expecting everyone to hurt you because one person did. You push good people away because you are afraid they will become like the people who hurt you before. You become emotionally unavailable because being vulnerable feels dangerous. You don't trust compliments, you question kindness, you assume people will leave. You prepare for rejection before anyone has rejected you. And you think you are protecting yourself. But sometimes you are not protecting yourself. You are punishing your present for what your past did to you. And that is when you have to pause. Because the person who hurt you may be gone. The situation may be over. But if you are still allowing that experience to control every decision you make today, then the pain is still holding power over you. Healing does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending it did not happen. It does not mean you have to forgive someone who hurts you before you are ready. Healing means you can remember what happened without allowing it to decide who you become. It means you can say, yes, that hurts me, and then ask, what do I need now? Not how do I make sure nobody ever hurts me again? Because the truth is, you cannot guarantee that. You cannot control what people do. You cannot build a life where you will never be disappointed. But you can learn to trust yourself. You can learn to recognize what is healthy. You can learn to live when something is hurting you. You can learn to set boundaries. You can learn that if someone hurts you, you will survive. And maybe that is where real healing begins. Not when you believe nobody will ever hurt you again, but when you finally believe that even if someone does, you will not abandon yourself. You will not lose yourself. You will not stay where you are, constantly being broken. You will not allow someone painful experience to convince you that your entire future we will look the same. Because sometimes we spend so much time trying to avoid pain that we forget we are also avoiding life. We avoid love because we don't want heartbreak. We avoid friendships because we don't want betrayal. We avoid opportunities because we don't want failure. We avoid vulnerability because we don't want rejection. And slowly, we become safe, but we also become stuck. And I don't want that for myself. I don't want to spend my whole life hiding from the possibility of being hurt. I just want to learn how to live again, to trust wisely, to love with boundaries, to forgive without forgetting the lesson, to move forward without carrying every wound into every new chapter. And maybe that is what healing really looks like. Not becoming someone who never hurts, but becoming someone who knows how to hold pain without letting it become their identity. So if you are still hurting, don't lie to yourself. You don't have to pretend you are okay just because you are functioning. You don't have to smile just because people are watching. You don't have to say, I have moved on. When deep down, you know you have not. Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what still hurts? Ask yourself, what are you avoiding? Ask yourself, what are you afraid to feel? And then little by little, face it. Because you deserve more than just becoming good at hiding your pain. You deserve to actually heal. So maybe you are not broken. Maybe you are just carrying something you never had a chance to process. Maybe you have been surviving for so long that you forgot what it feels like to actually feel. That's okay. But you don't spend the rest of your life pretending you are healed because you are tired of admitting that you are hurting. You can face it, you can process it, you can grow through it, you can become whole again because healing is not when the pain disappears completely. Sometimes healing is when the pain no longer controls the way you live. And one day you will look back and realize you did not just learn how to hide the pain, you finally learned how to let it go.